One, two, three.
It smells like
And we're synced up. Like the floweth of red of a woman. Hello, and welcome to I Don't Want to Be a Piece of Shit. I'm your host, Carter Doherty. What's up? Long time no see. That's the saying. I haven't seen me in a while. I've fully fallen off. I've fallen off the face of the planet. I've fallen off of comedy. I've fallen off of everything. And that's okay. I'm good with that. That's what I tried to do. Tried to fall off. Not really. I didn't want to fall off on this podcast, but really didn't feel like doing it. And I was like, if I don't feel like doing it, I'm not going to do it. That's not really what happened. I really got lazy. But where am I at right now? I'm on a dang racquetball court, I think. I think this is racquetball in New York City. I'm here. It's fine. It's good. I like it a lot, actually. But where was I? What was I doing? Last I left, I had done that episode with Tyler, and then just a few days later, I needed to uproot everything, and I decided I was going to go out into the woods of Wisconsin and join a 2-week meditation retreat, a Vipassana meditation retreat. So what I did was I couldn't smoke weed for 2 weeks, and that's a big deal for me. I had to wean off of weed. So how did I quit weed? The day before I went to the Devil's Lake in Wisconsin, and I hiked for about 8 hours, and I did a bunch of mushrooms, and I said, today's my last day smoking weed. So I did mushrooms to quit weed, and made it easy. Made it ease. I don't know if I should keep doing that. I've done that for a long time. Every time I need to quit weed, I just do a bunch of mushrooms and set as my intention. But I think that's just like delusional thinking. I think it only works because I say it's going to work. I don't know, but it does work. It makes my mind feel like I don't need weed all the time. And so then I went on the meditation retreat. And God, it's so lame because you meet these people that do this kind of shit and they seem like they have it all figured out, and in your head you're like, they don't have it figured out. They're just lying to themselves. But then you go and you do one of these things where you just sit. I didn't have a phone. I didn't have weed. I had nothing to be put into my brain. I could only look in. And gush, that was gross. I hated that. I hated seeing what was in there. But it was a good time because I emptied it out. I got what was in there, and I emptied some of it out. It's like a big old bucket full. In a meditation retreat like that, 10 days silent, freaking just poured a little bit out. Poured a little bit of that crap water that was in my brain. I've just got a bucket full of crap water in my head, and I'm glad that I went out and emptied some of that, because you need to clean out the sewage. You can't have sewage in the brain pipes. That's no bueno. And I need to seem a little bit more chipper. I need to seem a little bit more energetic, but as I do when I do these podcasts in public, I feel a little insecure about doing this. I feel pretentious, but I'm in New York City. Everybody here is trying to achieve a dream, or they're beyond poor and sad. And maybe I shouldn't say that because there's probably people that are those exact things that are nearby within listening range. It's 10 a.m. I have done much today. I went to the coffee shop. I meditated today, and I feel like I'm glad I went on that retreat before I hit New York, because at the level of anxiety and I guess anxiety and high strung are the same thing. I just felt tense at all times before I went on it, and then I got back from this retreat. I was like so zen. I was honestly felt like I had the answer to everything. It is crazy how if I just lived like a monk, I would be happy. I truly would. But I don't want to do that. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to talk to you guys. I'm trying to do stand-up comedies. And I bet I've only been doing this for 5 minutes. Oh my God, my time is off the charts. 5 minutes exactly. I know what's up. I haven't done one of these in a while, so I'm trying to figure out what the vibe is again. I'm trying to figure out my flow. So this retreat, what should I tell you about it? I should have planned a little bit more what I was going to say, but then I would sit down and plan it and well, you should just do it on the spot like you normally do. And I don't really know what to say about the retreat, because truly, you sit down and you do nothing. That's it. Um, Now they give you like techniques of meditation, but it's really 12 hours of meditation a day, and it's like lackadaisical. There's old ladies that go on this thing, so clearly it's not like you got to sit up straight or else they hit you with a ruler in the back of the neck or something. It's chill. You can give up when you want to give up, and then you just lay down, and then you're still meditating. Because what else are you gonna do? You can't go on your phone. You can't. You're not allowed to bring books, so you can't read books. You can't talk. So literally, you better meditate, or else you'll go crazy. Not you'll go crazy. It's 10 days, and if it was that hard, would would lame people that like have never achieved anything in their lives be able to go on these meditation retreats if they were that hard? I don't think so. I think it would be a way more intense thing. I think if you want to really get your meditation on, if you want to reach enlightenment, you got to live like a monk every day for the rest of existence. And that's hard. That's what's hard. Going away for 10 days and having nobody bother you, that's a kind of a reprieve. God, I learned reprieve like 6 months ago, and anytime I can use it, I use reprieve. Because it sounds so smart. I feel so good using it. I think the thing that really I got to the bottom of in this retreat is, I talk about a lot about like when people cross me, I like hold a grudge pretty hard. When people do like tiny things, like just make comments about what I'm eating, or just forget my name or something like that, I get pissed. I get livid, and I take it personally. And it's so dumb. It's so lame that I do that. That's half this fucking podcast is I just come on here and I'm like, I'm so mad. Listen what they did to me now. But nobody's doing shit. Everybody's just living life and trying to do their best, which is insane. Isn't it? This is the thing. This is like such an 8th grade juvenile thought that everybody's come to. But isn't it insane that probably in Hitler's heart of hearts, bringing Hitler into the middle of the podcast, Hitler somehow thought he was a good guy. Isn't that crazy? Hitler thought he was a good guy. Like he went, because if he didn't, he would wake up. I guess he did end up killing himself at the end. But that was like when he was about to get caught. I'm talking about, like, how do you wake up every day knowing that you're doing those things and then continue on as if, like, you don't have just this massive guilt? Because it's somewhere in there you gotta think that you're somehow doing the right thing. And that makes it, I don't know what I'm trying to say by that, but just more, everybody's not out to get you. I guess Hitler was out to get the Jews, so this isn't a good comparison. I don't know. I'm just trying to stay zen, and I'm trying to not stay mad at people. And what I've gotten to the bottom of, though, from that is when people do things like kind of intentionally mean, and if you think about anything that you've ever done that's mean, it's usually out of your own misery. Like I don't know, if you trying to think of a good example. Just like whenever I say something mean, or I shit talk a comic, that's a good one. If I shit talk a comic, really I'm just insecure about myself. And so I'm trying to, like, in my head, put them down to put myself up, which is this is, again, 8th grade thinking. Everybody knows this shit. But it's different to know it, like talk about it like this, how I'm just saying it to a podcast, but versus like truly understanding. And it's not like I do understand yet, but I know how to get to the point of understanding because I was there. I was there during the retreat. I felt it. But yeah, when you're doing something like that, when you're shit-talking a comic and just putting them down so you can put yourself up, you're just causing more misery, more suffering from your own suffering. And I'm not teaching anybody anything right now. I'm just saying the basic shit. But there's so much, like, pain and suffering that's caused just from your own brain. And it's like, God, I'm going to say it over and over again. It's just middle school shit. Like, life is about 90% or 10% what happens to you, 90% how you react to it. It's like, obviously we all know that. But then when something bad happens, you're just supposed to, like, go to that saying and be like, well, I should just react to this better. But then you have all these feelings and all these, like, sensations that come up in your body, and you're like, well, I got to do something with those. I got to react. I can't just let it be. I can't. God. And it is really annoying. I went back to, like, not like I went back, but I just remembered recording episodes like a year ago, and just how I had a lot of these concepts down, but I kind of regressed. I lost a lot of the momentum that I made, and I think the biggest thing was that I was kind of consistently meditating just 10 minutes a day at that time. And so this retreat, just where you eventually become so in tune with how the body sensations, and when you think of a thing, you can start to feel the actual sensations in your body that are coming up, and then you're more in tune to just, man, this is all just either brain shit or biological shit. And either way, I'm just a speck on this earth. I'm going to die at some point. You know, every atom comes and goes. I'm just the damn atom. My name's Carter, but I'm Adam. And so that's really what I got to the bottom of. And then I came back to from the retreat. We felt so much clarity, felt crystal clear, felt like I had the whole understanding of the world. Went back to my mommy's. Actually, what I did immediately after was I drove down and I had intercourse with a lady. And goddamn, this is the other thing is, I got to the bottom of my sexual stuff, because I talk about it a lot on this pod. If you're tuning in for the first time, kid's a horny guy. That's what they say in the books, at least. Somebody called me the other day and said, "Oh, I met one of your friends," and I said, "Oh, you know Carter?" And this person said, "Oh, Carter, that's the horniest guy I know. God, man or lady, he fucks them all, huh?" And I'm like, come on. I get brought up, and the first thing you think of is that he's horny. Why can't it be that he's a genuine guy? Or that he's funny, at least. That's at least the thing that I'm trying to be the most. But to be described as horny, aye. But I'm moving past this. I'm getting better. I'm gonna not be a piece of shit, I promise. But I had sex the day after the retreat, and I like kind of broke down to this person all the thoughts that I had for the last 12 days, and got very, very close and had these conversations and had sex. It was very, very intimate, and that's scary. That's not... I think I play around with casual sex too much, and that's what I've gotten to the bottom of. Because when you have sex with somebody, it's very intimate. I don't know if you know this, kids. And I think I've been just very disrespectful to the whole concept, and just kind of done whatever a desire arises, and I suffice the desire. I think suffice is the right word. I at least make the desire sufficed, and you can't just listen to every single little thing that you got going on, you know? Okay, sick. I was making sure. I don't want to be on the racquetball court and somebody freaking come over here trying to play, but I assume in Brooklyn, not many people are trying to play racquetball. Is this racquetball? There's a wall? I don't know. There's 2 Canadian flags at the top. Maybe that's not Canadian flag. I don't know. It's just a wall and like a tennis court looking thing, but racquetball has got things on every side, I thought. So I don't know what game this is. Doesn't matter. What does matter is that I think you shouldn't be just having sex with anybody, because you grow this bond, and then when you grow that bond and you don't actually like see that kind of future with that not like that kind of future, but like neither of you are intending on maintaining that bond in that way, I think that almost might be disrespectful and cause suffering by the end. Does that make sense? Does that track? Does everybody picking up what I'm putting down? Everybody sniffing what I'm farting? I don't know. Because I really enjoyed myself, and I really felt. I see why they call it. This is. Don't tell anybody I said this, okay? But I see why they call it making love. Because it's like when you're making eye contact and you just broke down in front of a person, then you have sex, and you're like, oh, that's a lot of feelings up in her. And then like you desire that person, and you're like, this is fire. You shouldn't be playing with fire. So I'm a little scared from that, of just, oh man, just having been in love and going through a whole relationship where it has like these twists and turns and ups and downs and getting to know a person. You're like, do I have the energy for that right now? Because that's what I'm starting. That's what you're starting by doing this. So it's, I guess you can't choose what happens to you. I guess that's not even what happens to me. I kind of did that, but I disregarded the things that come with it. And so that's why I feel that I shouldn't be sleeping around. But God, it just makes you feel so good. And not even when you disregard it, you can kind of build up this ego behind it. Like if you completely detach yourself from the attachments that you're building by having sex, you can just be like, God, I'm a fucking king. Everybody wants to get a little bit of the sea dog. And that's not what it is. That's not sex. It's not I don't know. I guess maybe it is if you like it that way and you're comfortable with it being that. Because I don't know. I'm trying to. I guess everybody's different. That's the other thing. I didn't learn that on the meditation retreat, but I kept having conversations with people about stuff that I thought about on the meditation retreat, and like I kind of came to what my truth is of like what I should and shouldn't be doing, what's causing myself pain and what's not, and then it's difficult because then you look at what your truth is, and then you look at how other people are living, and you're like, well, why aren't they also trying to find the truth? And then it's like, well, some people are happy. Some people truly are happy not living life that are according to your own truths. And it's difficult to accept that. And the reason that I think I hyper-focus on it is because I don't actually want to do the things that I'm supposed to be doing. So I just then look at others and I'm like, well, why aren't they? And I think that's what makes me start to judge others. Uh-oh. I hope those kids aren't going to come over to the damn racquetball court. It is weird to record a podcast in a park. Whatever. This is what you got to do. I'm in a basement in goddamn Brooklyn. So I don't know. I was disregarded my sex life, and now I'm very close to somebody, and it is a person that, I don't know. I shouldn't get too far into this, actually. So that happened. Then I drove home to Akron, Ohio, and I stayed with my family for a week. And God, if there's any place that regresses me the hardest, it's going home. I go home and I just act like a goddamn piece of shit, and it is pretty frustrating. Oh God, all these kids are about to play over here. Uh-oh, how long have I been doing this pod? 18 minutes. That's not bad. I'll keep going until they kick me out. They'll kick me out at some point. And I went home and I tried to, the practice that they told you to keep at the Vipassana meditation is to do an hour in the morning and an hour at night and just try to be mindful during the day. And I think I meditated 30 minutes twice the week I was home. And then, yeah, and I went way off my diet shit. Barely worked out, barely did anything, really. I kind of just fugged around. And that was very unhealthy. I guess the most frustrating thing is to know that it's possible for me to be happy, but you have to do the things that you got to do. And I'm happy I'm where I'm at, though. And I'm going to continue to try. And at least I know I have this desire. That's the thing that I always struggle to think of myself as a good person. Because I'm always like, God, I've done such heathenous things in my life. I'm so heathenous. I meant heinous. I guess heathenous is also heathenous and heinous. Title the ep. Heathenous and heinous. It's just, I feel like I've done so many bad things that then when I start to go like, I'm a good person, I go, how can you be a good person? How can you be a good person if you've done all those bad things? And then I guess I've kind of come to forgive myself because I'm like, because all those bad things you did out of misery. So you're just trying to spread your misery. So what you got to do is you got to get to the core, got to get to the bottom of that misery and cut it off where it's happening. And then you can be free. And I guess the way to do that is just by sitting still and meditating. I think. I don't know. I wonder if all that enlightenment shit is real. I don't think I'm going to get there in this lifetime. Enlightenment's pretty far. So that's why the reincarnation thing of Buddhism really comforts me, because I'm like, as long as I'm giving it a good effort, it'll get me a little bit further so that in the next life maybe I can become enlightened. I just wonder if being enlightened and being happy is really real. Because, sitting there 12 hours a day, I was actually on like a half English, half Vietnamese speaking meditation retreat. And there were these Vietnamese monks that came over and they were helping serve and stuff like that. And I would peek my eyes open during meditation and stare over at them. And they'd be fucking stiff as a board the whole time. They wouldn't move a twitch. And then when we would get food, they're like happy. They have smiles on their faces giving you food. And so that's all I saw them the whole time. They're either completely somber still, doing nothing, or just happy to serve. And so I'm like, well, are they just pretending? Are they faking it? Or are they really just off? And then when they're on, they're like, yes, take this vermicelli bowl. It's friggin' delicious. They didn't actually speak much English at all. But the vermicelli bowls, oh my God. The food at this retreat. That's the thing that I heard about it, is that the retreat, or the food, is basura. That's garbage for all you non-Spanish speakers. But the food was fire. It was all vegetarian, but these Vietnamese monks cooked some authentic Vietnamese food, and every day I got a nice-ass spring roll or a pho bowl or something that was gas as hell. But no meat for 12 days. And God, they talked about how everything has 4 elements: earth, water, air, and fire. Hence wearing my Avatar hoodie right now. But different things cause your body to have different elemental reactions. Like in different foods, like if you eat a chili, you have fire. That feeling, that heat, that's fire. Or anything gaseous, that's air. And boy, with that vegetarian diet, I think they put a lot of air in that food, because I was gassy, boy. I was a gassy. And to have a 12-hour meditation where 40 people are in the same room, and everybody just sitting there, and just every 10 or 15 minutes coming from the back corner, because CT ain't ever eaten vegetarian like that. Whew. And then I was like worried about my protein. So I started, they did give milk, and so I started to just drink glasses of milk. Oh my God, that did not help the farts, man. I was farting and being gassy during this whole meditation retreat. Whew. Speaking of which, I gotta poop right now, but I'm here for you. I'm here doing this podcast. I'm here being me, and I'm happy about it. I've turned a whole. Last solo ep, I said the kid is back, and this episode, the kid is fully back. The kid is here. I'm excited. I got short hair right now. And the other thing that happened is these past 4 weeks, I've been rapidly losing my hair. I can't even begin to describe that. Like, I go through my hair, and like 6 hairs are in my palm right now. You can't see it from that far. It's really crazy. And I think before I would have stressed out about it and been like, I'm gonna go bald, I'm gonna be ugly forever. Each hair is like the petal from the rose from Beauty and the Beast, and once the last one falls, I'm a beast forever. But that's not happening. That's not happening, because everything's impermanent. Did you know that? We're all just an atom, flicking on and off. Hi, my name's Adam. And this hair is gonna go. But one day I'm gonna be 80 years old, and who gives a fuck? And it's easy to say this, but to really feel the anxiety not be there, now that's a whole different thing, and I think I'm pretty close. I'm so nervous about somebody walking up on me. And yeah. So I was home for a week, just bullshitting, doing nothing, doing shows in town. And it was good. And then I went and did a road weekend at Don't Tell Pittsburgh, and I headlined the shows out there, and it was my first time doing stand-up in 2 weeks since the meditation retreat, and honestly, it was amazing. It was a great weekend. I got to just do 30 to 40 of jokes in front of packed audiences of people that I liked, and because like normally you do comedy on the road, you go to some place like Pittsburgh, and you got to do the improv, and you're hosting for some guy named Chris Kattan, who's been on SNL, and all the people that are in the crowd are just 50 and 60-year-old people that don't give a shit about the kind of comedy you're about to do. It's like being a punk rock band. I'm not trying to make myself sound cool, okay? But I'm a punk rock band comedian. I consider myself a punk. And most of the time you got to open for damn cheesy folk bands. And it's like you got to start playing folk music for these people that like, but you're a punk band. You're a punk band. And you want to work with, I don't know, but headlining the Don't Tell shows, it was all fans of punk music there. And they liked what I was, they were sniffing what I was farting. And I liked farting for them. And so I had a great time, and I'm luckily a 24-year-old who can operate off of headlining those things where I'll tell you exactly how much money I made. I made $500 that weekend. And then I went and featured the next day at Hilarities, which is such a... You do these underground venues, and then you go and you do a classy joint like Hilarities. I featured at Hilarities on Sunday for Ryan Goodcase, and then that was good. It was good in a different way where I didn't kill, but I was so present and aware that I was just like... At multiple points, I went, I'm 24. What do you guys want me to talk about? I'm not going to give my takes. This is all going to be cum stuff. Get ready for the cum stuff. And I think that's also why people describe me as the horniest man of all time. Every joke that I have is about cumming and assholes and, I don't know, slurs. So maybe I should fix that and people would describe me less as horny. But you can't be described as a nice, genuine guy in stand-up by your stand-up unless you're faking it. That's the other thing is I think anybody that's nice on stage faking it. That's an easy take. That's a take that everybody has. I've probably been out of focus because I focused it for myself back here, and I've probably made I need to get a new camera so I can know when I'm in focus. Also, I drank a coffee this morning after meditating on an empty stomach, and that's why I'm going at a billion miles per hour right now. But this is good. This is good podcasting. I've almost done 30 minutes. And I think I've described to you guys how I've felt and where I've been. I haven't even dipped into New York yet. So Hilarities was cool, and then the next day, rode with a buddy out here to New York City. I've been here for a week now. Been here for a whole week, and I haven't recorded an episode because it's hard. I'm living in a basement, a 2-bedroom basement with 3 guys. So me and my boy Sam Milazzo are chilling on beds separate from each other. Actually, Sam Milazzo was mentioned on a pod when Tim Butterly, so he called me during that podcast. Sam Milazzo, he's actually a pedophile. It's very unfortunate. So I'm sharing a room with a pedophile, and that's been good. They're good homely guys, and it's cool to hang out with dudes in the living room and just bullshit all day. But what I've noticed is I haven't been getting shit done. I haven't been sticking to my to-do list. I haven't been doing pods. I haven't been working out. I might have said meditating already, but I'm so discombobulated I don't even remember. But yeah, I haven't been meditating, and so I've been like doing it every now and then. I've been running every now and then, but I got to get it down to a damn science. So last night, I decided before I went to bed to make a dang to-do list, and I'm following it, kinda. I wanted to wake up and meditate for 30 minutes, so then I woke up and meditated for about 21 minutes, and then I really, really had to pee, so I went and peed, and then John was like, do you want to go get coffee? Actually, that's not true at all. I'm lying to the podcast. I went pee, and then I saw John, and I went, John, do you want to go walk and get coffee? And so then we went and got coffee. And so I already deterred from meditating for... Deterred? No, deterred is not the right word. I already deviated and didn't finish my meditation, but I was like, all right, we're just going to go and get this coffee and then record the pod. And then I kind of sat and talked to John at the coffee shop for a while. So I woke up at 8 a.m. and now it's 10:30, and all I've done is meditate, get coffee, and record this podcast. It's actually probably almost 11 now. But I need to not be down on myself. I need to be happy that I'm actually doing the thing, and this is what I'm doing. And this has been a pretty good pod so far, actually. I don't know. I enjoy myself talking. I'm not a narcissist, by the way. Everybody on this pod wants to say I'm a narcissist. I got bipolar. I asked my therapist. They said I don't. But I also stopped going to that therapist because I was like, I don't think this is doing much for me. So maybe I need a new therapist, and maybe they'll tell me that I need to start taking lithium. But New York's been cool. I actually really, really like it. I don't think I can move here. This city's tough. Every everyone I know that's moved here, and I talk to them and I ask them, how'd you like New York? How'd you like moving to New York? They're always like, God, so the first 2 months I wanted to kill myself, but then I just learned to live with the pain. And I'm like, that doesn't sound like what I want either. But some people love it, and I think the people that love it are the ones who it's worth it to move here. And I don't think it's worth it to move here unless you got a honeypot you're coming to. So I think I'm going to keep dipping back here. I'm going to keep visiting for a week at a time, and eventually make it so fruitful here that I have to just move. It's just such a bountiful harvest. And I think I've made quite a bit of progress in that, because when I went to Austin, did a lot of pods in Austin, and then I went to Chicago, did a lot of pods in Chicago. I worked crazy to just book myself and like hit up every single person, and I was so in a rut in Chicago. I was so depressed that I didn't really feel like reaching out, and I was also so tired of booking myself like that I just was like, I'm just gonna fucking go to New York. And I think this was the move. Even though, like, I think everything happens for a reason, maybe. It's not like everything happens for a reason so your life is good. Everything just happens for a reason so that the next thing happens. But I've just been hanging out and just being a guy, not even, like, what's the word where you're scheming, plotting, just very transactional socializing. I was like, none of that. We're just going to be out here having a good time. And being out here having a good time has been more fruitful. I wonder if you guys hear all this playing that's going on. It's so weird because they've been playing this whole time and they just got loud. There's like 50 kids over there. And I think just it makes you, if you're not doing pining, maybe pining is the word I was looking for. If you're not pining for a spot or trying to like weasel your way into something, then when it doesn't happen, and the thing that you're going for doesn't happen, you are not depressed. You are not upset because that you weren't even trying for anything anyways. So if you just go with the intention of just here to hang out, I mean, I'm comfortable and content with everything that's happening in my life, so all that could happen is more. Especially like career-wise, I'm like, if I get spots down here, that's more spots than I would have had if I wasn't doing spots. So, if that makes sense. And just by hanging, people are like, oh, Carter, you're in town. Oh, my God. Here, come do a spot on Tuesday. And a lot of that's happened. Whereas some of these people I've messaged, and then when I show up in person, like, oh, come do a spot. And it's showing face and just being a guy is way better than sitting behind a keyboard and just being like, can I please? And maybe this doesn't make as much sense if you're not a comedian, but a lot of this shit is such transactional online bullshit that it doesn't feel genuine. And then once you introduce a little bit of face-to-face, a little bit of genuine, they really start to turn. And I don't know, New York's, it's an exciting city. But God, is it tiring. God, is it expensive. And God, is your quality of life shit. But I'm honestly okay with it. I'm used to sleeping in bad scenarios, and I'm just it's a basement apartment. There's absolutely no sunlight, so there's no windows. So I've been sleeping in until 11 a.m. and just not being the person that I want to be. But I need to go back to where I was a year ago. A year ago, I was living with my ex. Actually, a year ago, I didn't even celebrate. A year and 2 days ago was 1 year no booze. And I think about to a year ago what I was doing. I was living with my ex. And she hated me. And I was able to operate every day as though, like, I've got to get better. And I don't know if that was a motivator, living with her, or what, but I know that I can live in another person's space, essentially, because she was mad at me because I broke up with her, so that makes sense. And so I operated as if, like, I can't do anything to piss her off, but I just gotta get my shit done. I gotta be the man that I need to be, and I need to let her live her life in peace. And so that's the way that I operated. And I think if I can just get into that mode in any scenario, God, life is gonna be good. Because I was able to, like, this sucks, but it should suck, and I'm okay with that. And it's weird I was able to be at that point of peace when I had done such little work, and now a whole year later, I feel like I've done so much work, but life's been so good to me that I kind of lost that. I lost that grit. Oh, shit. Yeah, the kids are coming over here. Probably going to have to end the pod. And I kind of have gotten to the end of what I wanted to talk about. I've said it all. I'm on a really good track. I'm going to keep meditating. I'm going to keep doing all these positive things to improve my life, and I'm going to keep doing stand-up comedy because it's so much freaking fun, and I love it. And I'm here in New York. Expect more episodes. Hopefully some good guests here. I'll ask some people this week to do the pod. Guys, I've been Carter Doherty, and I don't think I'm a piece of shit. I think I'm doing pretty well. That's been it. Peace.